So a t test is statistical significance test used to determine whether there is a significant difference between the means of two groups. It is typically used when the sample size is small and the populations have normal distribution. So there are two main types of t-tests. One is independent sample test and a pair sample test. However, I just want you to understand what is t statistic, a test statistic first. A test statistic, a metric for the difference or effect of interest. And t statistic is a standardized version of common test statistics such as means. Then you have t distribution, a reference distribution, in this case derived from the null hypothesis to which the observed t statistic can be compared. So now we will look into the first type of sample, first type of t-test, that is independent samples t-test. This test is used to compare the means of two independent groups. For example, you might use an independent samples t-test to determine whether there is a significant difference in the salaries of men and women. These are completely independent in a particular company. So that's if we do it for an groups which are completely independent, that's called independent samples test. Or if you do it for dependent one, that's called paired samples t-test. This test is used to compare the means of two related groups. For example, you might use a paired samples t-test to determine whether there is a significance difference in the weight of individuals before and after they participate in the weight loss program. So these two groups are related, so that's the reason this is called paired sample test. Paired samples t-test. One is independent samples, second one is paired samples. So the t-test works by calculating a t-value which represents the difference between means of the two groups relative to the variability within each group. The t-value is then compared to a critical value from a t-distribution based on the degree of freedom and the desired level of significance. If the t-value exceeds the critical value, the difference between the means is considered statistically significant at the chosen level of significance.